Welcome back to Down to Business. I'm Josh Dirks, and today I'm sitting here with Mike from Crocodile Rocks. Now, Mike, you told us a lot about how you kind of got into the business, kind of how it kind of sprung from your passion. Talked a little bit about some of the things that work for you in the marketing space, and it's obvious to us at Down to Business, this is not something that you can just go out and put a television commercial or anything like that to. It's just not one of those businesses at all. So we thought about kind of what you currently have, and you've talked about your open houses and some of the word of mouth stuff, and we wanted to kind of help amplify that a little bit for you. So one thing that we know about your business is because you have both sides, is you deal with a lot of contractors on a regular basis, and more contractors are starting to, their trucks are their offices now. So they're using smartphones to take pictures, send needs, take measurements. They're using computers inside their trucks to do different things. And so one thing we thought about is actually building a series of videos specifically for contractors. How to meet that need, how to work with those things, and building relationships with contractors around that type of content. But additionally, as you have a contractor come through and spend a certain price level with you, offering before and after pictures that we can put little watermarks on for Crocodile Rocks for you guys. Then those photo albums will be uploaded onto your website, but you can also give them to the contractor to put on their website. So all of a sudden now you're starting to cross-pollinate the brand even with their other jobs and things like that. But you're giving them content that most of the time they don't think about producing for themselves.
Interesting.
But it can also grab a lot of new people to them because they want to see these types of pictures and things like that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea too, and maybe with also designers and architects as well.
Yeah, any of those customers that you know is kind of a well for you. They usually hold different, multiple clients in that one person does. So if you can build a relationship, a deeper relationship, and actually provide them something of value or content, that only affirms the relationship at the end of the day. Yeah. And can make it better. As you said, it's not something that a lot of people think about right now in this space, but the more you can show this stuff, I think the more work that can be created long term for you.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Excellent. Are you taking any before and after pictures right now?
You know, really, we need to do at least befores, and really we don't take as many pictures as we really should.
Yep.
But it's definitely effective.
Yeah, you guys have a product that just really lends itself naturally to photography, so it's another way of just capturing and kind of showing the craftsmanship and the beauty and artistic nature in what you guys provide services around. The next thing we had is kind of playing off of your whole idea of open houses, actually to do some in-house classes, whether it's an industry class where you're bringing in some other people, because you do have both sides of the business. You have the supply and you have the manufacturing side. So maybe even building relationships with other providers, those types of people, but bringing them in and showing your expertise, even the DIYers, those people that want to do it themselves, bringing them in a little bit and kind of showing them some other things. Could be another group of people that you could build some relationships with. I know there's some things that you want to keep proprietary and keep in-house, but even at a high level, if there's some other ways that you can build relationships with other sets of people besides the designers or the real estate agents or those types of people, that might be another nice extension of your brand and also show your thought leadership in the space as well.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. In fact, we have done some of that with our soapstone. And we offer it as, like, where people can bring us a drawing, and we can either provide just the material and they can do it, or we can provide the material, we can cut it to their templates and install it. We have all the tools and everything for them to be able to do their own fabrication. And we will even assist them and show them how to do it. Yeah,
that seems like it just could be kind of a cool way of getting in with people early on in the process too. And someone's going to take the time to do it themselves. If they later in life they might allow somebody else like yourself to come through and do it. It's a great introduction for you. The next thing is we really think is big is testimonials. As we've seen with the emergence of Yelps and city searches and all those things, more and more people are looking at that as they decide on who's going to do their home improvement to their dry cleaner. So being able to build up testimonials over time is a really important thing. And the other thing we'd love to do is actually get those on video. So building out testimonial videos with the before and after shots in them, telling the story about why. You as a historian, what you like about geography and all those things, it seemed like you could tell some really cool stories about what the origin of the project is all the way through completion, and having your customers' words over the top of that, endorsing what you guys' work is. I mean, if you spent 7 years in somebody's home, you're probably like family at that point.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, testimonies are another great thing. The other piece is also in videos doing some contractor stories. So taking from the very beginning of a project all the way through completion. There's things like stop motion photography that's very interesting as things change. Of course, if a 7-year project, we might have an issue there, but something that's a little bit more immediate would be nice, and kind of highlighting that area of expertise once again, because people want to deal with experts. That would be a big area for you.
Yeah, those are both great ideas.
Excellent. So then the last thing for you is kind of going through and doing a refresh of the website, adding some more components to it, also going through and adding this new content to it as well, so that way it's constantly being updated. In your space, it's very competitive at the end of the day, and so making sure that you have new content on a regular basis will help the search engines find you, rank you highly, but as long as you're wrapping your client stories into it and new pictures on a regular basis, it gives people a reason to come back. If I'm thinking about a remodel, it might not be something I do tomorrow, especially to the level you're talking about. It might take me several years, and I can actually go through and pull different ideas from your website and add those in.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Excellent. And then the last idea we have for you is actually the social media side of things. It's an exploding area. You guys have a lot of stuff that can play into that. So whether that's a Facebook account where you have a business page so that people can come through and like your page, down to even a Flickr account, because it seems like you have a lot of photography that could come through that, and that's another thing that ranks very highly.
Okay.
And there was just a brand new site called Pinster that's just come out and allows people to pin up like it's a almost like an old style bulletin board.
Oh yeah.
And you pin different images or different videos from all over the internet that you find. And it's kind of a cool way, like as we were talking about, if you're thinking about doing a home remodel, it might not be something you're doing tomorrow. You might be taking several years to develop and design some of the concepts you want to lay into it. But with Pinster, you could always go back and they can find your old photographs or things from your website. So it's constantly leading them back to your site so that when they already do the project, you can go ahead and do those things.
Interesting.
But everyone can see your Pinster board, so if I see something on yours that I want to add to mine, and again, we talked about the birds of a feather flock together, it's a really interesting way of being able to share ideas or concepts, even amongst designers. So it's kind of a visual format that kind of feeds into it that's very social, so you can get extra recommendations that way.
Interesting. Oh.
Anything else that you think about from that kind of gets the creative juices flowing?
Well, I mean, those are great ideas. I guess the whole thing too always is what things cost.
Yeah.
So far, what we've always done is tried to put as much as possible of whatever resources we have into actual product.
Yep.
If you have it, then people can buy it. But it's really is definitely time for me to do a little bit of promotion. So I can sell some of that stuff.
Well, you got great things. You got great things to show people, and you're in a space that I think a lot of people want to see what's happening. And so, capitalizing on that voyeurism, as I call it, there's a large sector of the community that likes to look and watch, and feeding that, because you have stories to tell. You have where the rock comes from to where the home ends in, or the idea that created the whole design concept. All that stuff is very interesting to people, and so even if it's just from a very small, initial level of taking photographs all the way up to having a firm come through and do video for you, all of those things can really feed in long term.
Yeah.
And you can take some baby steps into it as well. Excellent. Well, I really appreciate your time on the show this afternoon. I'd like to thank Mike and Crocodile Rocks and wish them the best of luck in the future. I'm Josh Dirks on Down to Business. Thank you so much for watching.